For sure. So then what about the person who's 4, 5, 6? They've maybe maxed out their local park. They're just getting into kingdom level tournaments or starting to travel a little bit more. It's kind of clicked. It's like, okay, I'm enjoying this, and I think I might want to start pushing for higher level awards. What advice would you give to them?
The very first thing I would tell them to do is shadow somebody as a judge. Just shadow somebody, because it makes it less scary being on the other side. I was blessed enough. My knight's wife was a routine judger for our kingdom, and I shadowed with her at a couple kingdom events before I started entering pretty heavily, and just learned that I wasn't as far off as what I thought was a 3.0 and a 3.2 was as she was. And we would discuss and we would talk, and I learned a lot through that. And I shadowed a couple of different judges, not just Lady Shauna, but by doing that, that gave me the comfort and the skill level in myself to enter into my kingdom levels. Go to a different park and enter a Dragon Master. Go to a different, go to one of your friends' park. Hey, your friend's running as regent as such and such park. They're having Dragon Master. Go, enter. It's not your home park. Go somewhere else and enter. It's fine. Ship your items to another friend. Here, I'm not confident enough to do this. You put it in. That's what there are people out there for. Ship them to your regent. They'll do it for you. They'll help you. That's what they're there for. And that's how it should be. And once you've done it once, then your brain goes, oh, this is no different than doing this at home. Never mind. We can do this.
That's how it was for me. The very first kingdom tournament I entered, I was working. So I sent my stuff with a friend, and I'm sitting there at work, and he gives me a call, and I go, hey, how'd it go? He goes, you won. I was like, no, I didn't. Stop. What do you mean I won? He's like, no, dude, you won. You beat everybody. I'm like, no, I did. Like, because it was this mystical thing in my head where I thought it was going to be much more difficult than what it actually was. And so once you go in shadow, or once you enter one, that fog of mystery goes away. So I 100% agree. Enter, max out your local level stuff. If you're at a shire, get your 3 at the shire, then go to the local barony, max that out, and then start going to kingdom, because it seems a lot scarier than what it actually is.
I'm notorious for saying, hey, I'm going to a kingdom event. Who wants to send stuff? I got a box. Here's my box. Fill my box. Tell me what your items are. I'll bring them back when I come back.
Yep. And there are a lot of people that will do that if you go, hey, I'll pay for your gas. And sometimes they don't have to do that. But whenever I send stuff, I'm like, hey, if I pay for your gas, will you enter my items for me? And then most of the time they say yes. And then I'm like, cool. And then I tell them all the other stuff that I have. Yeah, it's got my mannequins here, and this is how I want you to set this up. And they're like, oh, it was more than I thought it was going to be. I'm like, but I'm paying for your gas, And so what about now someone who has entered, they're confident, they're at say 8 or 9, and they're kind of pushing for those last couple awards. And that can be some of the most frustrating times for artisans, because it's like, I think I'm almost there, but maybe the regent or the judges don't think I am. What advice would you give to someone who's pushing into that last step?
Go enter kingdom. Try to enter Olympiads. Try to enter best of the best. Try to enter maybe, I know that they have Dragon Masters at different wars. Try to enter something, enter kingdom. Once you've done that, it's not as scary as it is. Go with, it used to be a joke in our belt line. Jocelyn and I would enter together, one right behind each other. And I would my whole goal was, I want to beat Jocelyn. And I tried to beat her with half the items and see if I could do it, and it was that running continuously for it. And have a friend challenge each other. Hey, I'm going to enter Olympiad. I've got this, let's see if you can get one item up here, and kind of push each other, whether it's through your belt line or friends or whatever else. Because once you do it, that fog goes away and it makes it not so scary. And 100%. I was blessed. My first Olympiad, Jocelyn was judging, and Lyndon was judging. And so it was like, I had 2 people that I trusted in the world that I could at least look at while I was doing this. And then my brother entered. So it was like I had support in both directions to be able to have that comfort to do that. And if you can do that, and if there's somebody you trust that you know that judges Interkingdom, ask them, where are you judging? Not because you want favoritism, but that your brain settles that down. So then you're like, these people are going to be real with me. I know they're not going to like pull the wool over my eyes.
For sure. I think having that friendly rivalry was really big for me. I have a friend of mine in my fighting company. His name is Xander. And he and we joined the fighting company roughly at the same time. We started entering tournaments roughly at the same time. We ended up getting full membership into the company at the same time. We got our masterhoods at the same time. And so there was this constant, all right, I'm going to beat you. No, I'm going to beat you. You know what I mean? And so you do that friendly rivalry, which blossomed into a good friendship because we were both there with each other along the way. And now we're both knights, both masters, and both still love competitions and are still entering. And like you said, once you enter it and once that fog of mystery is gone, it becomes significantly easier. And I would almost say go big on your first one. Like if you can enter like your first Inner Kingdom tournament, whether it's Olympiad or Keep or whatever, once you've entered that and you go through the butterflies and the nerves of an Inner Kingdom event, everything else is gravy. Like everything else is easy, you know.
I didn't do that. I did Kingdom first before I did Inner Kingdom stuff, and I was a wreck for Olympiad. And I mean, I think I almost dropped 4 or 5 items, and then it's like, if you do not stop, I'm going to have to murder you because you're entering your items, you're bringing them on the plane, you're doing your thing. And I was like, this is insane. What am I doing?
So I think I did 1 or 2 Kingdom level events before I entered into Keep. And I've done Keep a couple of times and was surprised at how well my stuff did, because I didn't think, like, I'm confident in my stuff, but I still am, like, I just do belts, right? And so if I'm putting a belt up against a full applique tunic, I don't expect to win. But I took second at Keep, and I'm like, I'll take it. You know what I mean? And once second at Keep, one of the largest tournaments, it's like, okay, this Kingdom level tournament with 5 people or 10 people or whatever, that's easy. I'll do that, you know?